everyone, back for another doll video, and today I am going to be making an interesting video about, it's going to be a kind of what's in my purse video, but my purse right here, oops. Ooh. All my dolls are still in it from the May Day event that I went to, and these are all the ones that I brought. So if y'all saw that video, that was the video I made before this one. So these were all the dolls I packed to keep myself amused and all that. There were some that I brought for like nostalgia reasons, because we went to basically two of my hometowns, except this time we just drove through one of them. We didn't actually stop anywhere. But the May Day event was in Mineral Wells. Excuse me. But yeah, it was in Mineral Wells, which it took place at a park that I used to go to as a kid. And so yeah, that was the first area in Texas I grew up in, was Mineral Wells, and then I moved to Weatherford, and then I moved to where I am now. So yeah, I'm basically just going to be going through this giant purse of all the dolls that I had brought. Some I took pictures of, but this is kind of me documenting which dolls that I brought, because I will forget which ones that I brought. So, yeah, this one, first off, I brought this one. I brought all my cut and style redheads because she was the first Barbie I ever got, and I was living in Mineral Wells when I got my first one, so she is my most recent one that I'm rerouting. So yeah, I haven't started rerouting her yet, but she is being rerouted right now. I brought this lovely Patsy doll that I'd rerouted with the same hair. So yeah, there's her and her hair. And I made this dress out of recycled clothing that was just gonna be thrown away. So yeah, I'll be setting them off to the side. I'll split them up into like two categories. Actually 3 categories, because I do have some clone dolls. So I'll split them up into like Superstar era or Superstar face dolls, and then clones, and then Generation Girl face dolls. So I actually have, let's see, where's the other one like this? So this is a clone from my childhood. I thought I had the other one in here. I don't know where she is at the moment. But yeah, this is one of the clones. I brought my other one that looks like this. She has the other one has darker lips, but I had 3 of these growing up. This is not one of my childhood ones. I mean, I got the other one. Let me see. Oh, there she is. Okay. So here's the other one. She was actually the one that was originally wearing this bathing suit. And the body that this one is currently on was one of my childhood ones. I mean, I was a teenager, but I was still a kid, basically. I was like 15. So yeah, this body belongs to a doll that I had back then. Her face got all sticky, and whenever I got this one from eBay, she was just a head when I got her. The body was a perfect match. It's that sort of clone doll, like squishy, hollow type, so it was perfect for her. But I put her in the swimsuit that belongs to this one. I've had this one since I was 15. I found her at the Goodwill. But yeah, I figured I would bring these 2, because these were also dolls that I had during that time when I was living out there. And this one actually is rooted with genuine Barbie grade Connect Lawn hair. So like back in the like 90s and 2000s and stuff, you would randomly, there would be times where you would randomly encounter clone dolls. Even into the 2010s, you would encounter random clone dolls that were rooted with Kanekalon hair versus polypropylene hair. But yeah, these ones are very nostalgic. Two of the ones I had growing up looked like these with the lighter lips and then the darker lips. So there's those. So they will go with the lovely Patsy doll, because they are clones. And so I'll just get these ones out the way. So we have 1, 2. She actually has the black hair extension piece on. And 3, when I fully rerooted. 4, and then of course 5, cut and style redhead Barbies. So yes, she was my first Barbie that I ever got. That's why I have so many of her, because she's one of my faves. And of course, all these had to go with me. I wanted them to be a part of that, part of my, like that. I wanted them to be a part of that piece of my childhood. So yeah, that's why I had to bring those. And of course another one that I had, Tooth Fairy Barbie. The pink and purple variant with the lavender eyes. Of course, the one I had growing up did not have anything that she was supposed to come with. She didn't even have her earrings. So I will move this purse away. This isn't the exact doll that I had, but when I moved to Weatherford and I went to live with my mom, I did find a baby doll. Oops. I did find a baby doll in my mom's backyard. I'll set this up like this. My iPad, which I'm recording on, does have a stand on it, but it's not cooperating that well. But yeah, when I moved in with my, when my mom moved, I had moved in with her for a little while in that house. But whenever she moved to Weatherford, the house that she moved into, I found a baby doll with blonde hair, or I guess that was kind of whitish hair, in the backyard. Like there was this like fence area, and I found the baby doll like up against that area. And the baby doll was missing like the iris or whatever from its eye, but I was like, oh wow, I found a doll, and it was a baby doll, mini baby doll with rooted hair. And this one I recently found at the Goodwill, and this one is from the same collection, like the same sort of company or whatever. And I haven't seen one of these baby dolls in forever. So that, I don't know how well it's gonna make that out. There we go. So there's that. I still have the tag. I don't know where it is right now. But yeah, GI Go Toys, something like that. And yeah, that's all it says. I do have the original tag, but this is a different face mold than what mine had. Mine, the mouth was a little more open. But this is the same exact kind that I had, so I actually found this one right before going to the May Day event, and so I brought this one since we were driving through Weatherford anyway. And these ones actually had rooted hair. Also, this one's done exactly like how mine was. So you can see that there's actually sculpted hair underneath. And then just rooted hair right over that. And that's how mine was. Even though it was a different head mold. It's still essentially the same, made the same way. And there's even a part line that goes like two ways. So it goes like that, across, and then it goes down the middle, which mine had. So even though it's not the one I had, I'm not sure I'll ever figure out which one that I had, because mine did not have any clothes on when I found her. So I have no idea what outfit she originally wore. And if y'all are wondering what that noise is, it is the rat, Remy. He's trying to drag the plate up there to make a fort with it. So those of you who don't know rats, pet rats do like to make forts. And he's trying to figure out how to get it up there, and he can't quite figure it out. So the struggle is real. But yeah, that's what that noise is. And now he's getting upset and chewing it up, so he's kind of admitted defeat. That's what he will do. He will try to drag it up to the top floor to make a fort with it. And then when he's unsuccessful with it, he will just get mad and start chewing the plate up. So yeah, those plates in there are what we give them their food on, so silly. But yeah, that's the story behind that baby doll. And I got this one half off at the Goodwill. But I've never had a AA one before. But yeah, my original one was missing one of these irises, and all that was left was the white part of the eye, and there was just like a empty space left, a round empty space where the eye was. But I didn't care. I was like, I found a doll, and I was gonna rescue the doll. Of course, I had to bring some Fashion Corner dolls with me, of course, because they are a big part of my childhood. I didn't have any Fashion Corner dolls when I lived in Mineral Wells, but I did when I moved to Weatherford, and so that's kind of, I don't know, Mineral Wells and Weatherford kind of go hand in hand for me because I spent time going back and forth between them, so. And then Blossom Beauty, I also had her ages ago in Weatherford. I brought her to the May Day event last year, so she goes with Superstars. So my friend Stephanie, that was actually a part of the, like she was a volunteer for the May Day event. We'd talked many times before about my Barbie collection and stuff, and I remember when I first created my Facebook account and all that, I posted this locket surprise Kayla. She was not rerouted yet, but she had seen my post and gotten all nostalgic and stuff. I'm like, oh, I that was my first Barbie and everything like that. So now every time I meet up with Stephanie, I always bring this doll because this is like our friendship Barbie, and this is one of my favorites. I got this one at Indoor Food Market when I was a teenager, and I fell in love with her because I thought she was very reminiscent of my cut and style redhead, with the green eyeshadow and the red lips, the red hair and the same skin tone. She just has a different screening in the Teresa face mold. But the fact that Stephanie's first Barbie was a redhead and that mine was a redhead is just really awesome. So yeah, I hope to get a new one someday because she's pretty beat up. her hair was very, very, very matted and thin when I got her. But I hope to get a new one someday, but for now I have this one. So there's her. I brought a Ken, the only Ken doll that I brought. Hawaii Ken. This was my very first Ken doll that my friend Tiffany had given me. I don't have that one anymore, but this one I got from a thrift store in like 2014. And of course I brought the brunette cut and style Barbie, because cut and style Barbies are iconic. I also brought this one. I think I brought this one. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm trying to, yeah, I think I did. See, I brought this blonde one that I rerouted. She's the Indonesia one, which I actually wound up stealing her body for this one. So yeah, she has the body that was hers, and she has the necklace. So yeah. But I put her on this teacher Barbie body, and that was a dress I recently got. This one was, this new one I got was wearing that dress when I found her online. So yeah. Okay, so we also have Ballet Recital Barbie. She was another doll that I'd had while in Weatherford. I wasn't exactly fond of her back then. I don't know how I felt about the Mackie sculpt back then, but I still did play with her. And I got her back like a couple of years ago. So, and she has her outfit. She'll go with Superstars. And some of these dolls are dolls that I didn't necessarily have, but I played with. So we have Beach Blast Barbie. She belonged to one of my friend's older sister. And I actually did play with her. I did remove the bangs, I plucked them out. So yeah. And that doll did not have her bathing suit or anything, so. But this one was just a head that I found at the Goodwill. She was just literally lying on the floor. She was in such perfect condition, like all her crimps were still there. I searched for her body everywhere, but I couldn't find it, so. She's actually on, so Bryce from Dolly Me actually sent me a Beach Blast Barbie with a discolored face, so I just used the body and the outfit for this one. And I think her head has shrank, but she's my best condition one. And I'm obsessed with her hair. Like, the crimps are so nice and shiny. Her hair is so full. Her hair's not extremely thick. The crimps make it look thicker than it is, but that's pretty much the thickness. But when you undo that, it makes her look like she has tons and tons of hair. I mean, her rooting isn't bad. There's like some gaps, I guess. Yeah, there's some gaps in there. That's not the worst rooting ever. Of course, one of my favorite dolls that I got around at the same time that I got this one was the Glenda Barbie. And she still works, obviously.
Tap your heels together 3 times.
And she was always so versatile. I loved putting her in like different outfits and stuff. So, she's my second one, my original childhood one. I don't think I brought her with me. I was very rushed that morning, so I just kind of threw a bunch of dolls in my purse. And then we had to leave, so. But I selected my newer one. She's not really newer anymore. I've had her for over a decade, so. But she is my second one. And then just for the heck of it, I brought Easter Treats Barbie because she looked like a doll that I would have played with back then. And she is one of my favorites. So, and she's wearing this newer dress. So yeah, and she is very squeaky, which I'm obsessed with. If anybody knows me, I love it when Barbies are squeaky. Her head, not so much. It's trying to, but her legs definitely. And then, now this is a doll that I had in Weatherford, not the dress. Winter Rhapsody Barbie. She kind of replaced my Tooth Fairy Barbie because she was my original one that had, she was my only Barbie that had like purple eyes, like lavender. I always called her the purple-eyed ballerina because I didn't know who she was. But there was a long period of time where I didn't have her, and so this one was kind of a substitute for her because she does have lavender eyes. So yeah, and she's got shimmery lips, and I put her in this My First Jewelry Fun Barbie. I think that's the name. Yeah, the pile of Superstar face dolls and Superstar era-ish dolls are getting really big because I have so many. And then we have one of my most recent ones that I got new in box. The Easter Barbie. Her hair is a bit messy. I don't know. Oh, here's a brush. So I'll brush her hair out really fast. There. Much better. Yeah, she was a Barbie that I had for a very short period of time in Weatherford that I'd found at a thrift store. I didn't really like her back then. I thought she was kind of boring. I didn't have her outfit or anything. The only thing she had was her earrings. But of course, a lot of the Barbies I got rid of in my doll purging days, I regretted. If I didn't regret it instantly, then I regretted it eventually. And fortunately, I was able to get her new in box. Her shoes are off right now. They are in the little pouch. I will actually put them back on her. Yeah. So yeah. And they stay on pretty well, but I took them off so I didn't lose them while I was out there. But yeah, that is her. Dentist Barbie, of course, is a big part of my childhood, and she had never, this is my newer one, she had never been to my hometown before. Yeah, a lot of these had never been to my hometown, so I wanted them to be a part of that because they were dolls that I got in Dallas, so much later on. So yeah, I brought my original Dentist Barbie, or not my original, but my second. She's actually my third. I had one before that had a haircut, but this one is my third one. So yeah, I had to bring her. I did put a dress on underneath because when I found her, she was wearing this original thing, and when I took this open, I was like, she is literally not wearing anything underneath, which kind of blew my mind. I was like, why would she not be wearing at least like a dress or something? So I put one under there so that it was a little bit more modest. Oh yes, and of course I had to bring this, one of my newest Fashion Corner dolls, because I did have this one, or one that looked like this one when I lived in Weatherford. I swear mine had like bangs though, but it's the same face, same hair color. So yeah, Fashion Corner, she goes over with the clone dolls. Oh yeah, so my most recent cut and style redhead, I wound up, I'm always stealing the bodies from the blonde ones. So this one was my first blonde that I got in 2008, I believe. And so, yeah, she's my oldest one. She still had her earrings and necklace and all that, but I wound up donating all that to my redhead dolls, and then I recently donated her body to my most recent redhead. She's not the same country make, but Malaysia and Indonesia are like right next door to each other, so I figured why not. And this one also has the pink underwear. So yep, so her body got donated to my newest one. So she is now on this straight arm body. Her hair is very thin. And I did root, this is old doll restoration days, but if y'all have been on my channel for a hot minute, you'll know that back in the day I used to use Dollar Tree hair. So Dollar Tree used to have these hair extension, it's like a headband that you wear, and it's got a bit of braided hair that goes across so you don't see the headband, and then it's got all this long hair attached to it, and that's what I used to use to reroot. Basically just using whatever I could find. She still has some baldy areas. Yeah. These cut and style dolls were not rooted the best, which is a shame because they already have this big portion where there's no rooted hair. So you'd think that they would go all out, but they didn't, which is currently what I'm doing with this one. I've actually added an extra row of plugs there, like holes, and all throughout I've added more holes into her scalp, so she will have a lot more hair. Then we have a very iconic doll, one of my faves, one of my top faves. I've got 3 of her, and it's literally like I could never have enough of her. Princess Barbie from 1998. This was my 3rd one, and she had never been to my hometown before, which is where I got my original one, so she naturally had to go with me. So yeah, that is her. Then we have this one. I brought this one just for the heck of it, and because I could have sworn my friend Nikki had this one. I don't know, my friend Nikki, she had this, I feel so bad about it now, but she had gotten this, like, we used to, like, we would go to each other's house, and, so once she went to my grandma's house, my grandma used to, like, pick her up from school, and then we'd have a play date, or her mom would pick me up from school, and I'd go to her house. But this time my grandma had picked her up, and then that day she had gotten a new Barbie. And I could have swore it was this one. This one is Birthday Surprise Barbie from 96. And I could have swore it was this one, because I remember she just had a Barbie with a superstar face and hair like this, and there was like a pink dress. And the doll had bent arms like this, so I don't know, I feel like it was this one. Maybe I'll have to message her and be like, was this the same Barbie? But if so, then I have the Barbie. I literally begged her for that doll when she came over. That's what I feel bad about, was like she got the doll that day. And of course I only had like 2 real Barbies at that time, and they were both damaged. So I was so in envy of, she had so many Barbies, and I was like always so envious of how many Barbies she had. So when I remember like begging her for that, I was like, oh my gosh, you have so many Barbies, like can I just have this one? I feel so bad about it. I was like 8 years old, something like that, but I still remember that. And she kind of has squeakiness, but she was kind of like my Margot Robbie Barbie that I kind of created with the gingham and I don't know, she kind of looks like what Margot Robbie would look like as a superstar face doll from the 90s. I don't know, so this was kind of like my Margot Robbie sort of inspired doll from the Barbie movie. This was a doll that I had in Weatherford. And she's one I got recently. So yeah, she's the Savannah, I forget what her name is, but this was a line of dolls by M&C. And very much like the Fashion Corner face mold. She has the dimples, the very classic 90s-ish facial screening, except this doll was from the 2000s, so. But yeah, she had to go out there with me, obviously. And there is the other Fashion Corner doll that I got recently. So she is like the brunette variant of the other one, the other paler one, so I wanted them both to go out there with me. This was one that I had never had out there with me. She was my second Fashion Corner girly that I had gotten as an adult collector. And I found her at the thrift store in 2015. She's been rerouted. And I recently curled her hair. And she is wearing that dress. I made a rerouting video of her, except now she has curls, so that is her. Yeah, and as you notice, it just keeps going, like, so many Barbies. I brought my Kennel Care Barbie with me that I have rerouted. So yeah, she has all this hair. And I put her in the sparkly dress. And she was one that I found in the dumpster. My original one was the one I found in the dumpster when I was a teenager at one of my old apartment complexes. And that doll just mysteriously vanished. I have no idea what happened to her. The last memory I have of my original one was that she had fallen behind my bed, and she was like in between the wall and the bed. And I just was lazy and I never picked her up. And whenever I finally did go back to get her, she wasn't there anymore, and I have no idea what happened to her. So this one I got in 2021 maybe, and she had a haircut and stuff like that, so I rerouted her. And yeah, that's her. I hadn't brought that doll out there with me, so I had to bring her. Same with this one. This one was one I found in like 2018, 2019. So yeah, this was a Barbie that I played with. This one, my friend Emily originally had this bedtime baby Barbie, and I played with her. So yeah. And I think this was actually the variant she had, which was the stamped. There's two different variants. There's ones where they use stencils to do the face paint, and then there's ones where they used stamps. So I think my friend Emily had this one. And she's the one that she has the lever in the back and her arms move. Kind of like Mermaid Fantasy Barbie and NSYNC Barbie. Then, of course, I brought my second Rio de Janeiro skipper that I got as an adult. Her hair is a bit messy. She's definitely gonna need a boil wash after all this. But yeah, I did have two of these dolls when I was a kid. And then those got lost, and then eventually I thrifted two of them. So I thrifted this one while I was still in Weatherford ages ago. So I had her. And it's weird, my my first two dolls looked like this, like if you can see, like her eyes and mouth and everything are closer together, and like hers are farther apart, so it makes her face look more ovally, and it makes her face look more rounded. And my first two Rio de Janeiro skipper dolls were like this. So I thought that was interesting, so I decided to bring her with me because she had never been to my hometown. And this was another one I brought just for the heck of it because she's totally one that I would have had. This is Glamour slash Garden. Sorry, this thing does not want to stand up. Glamour slash Garden slash I forget this doll. These dolls had like 3 names. There was Garden Surprise, Glamour Surprise, and then Flower Surprise. So, but it was all like the same dolls. They just came in like different dresses. It was the same dress but different colored. So, and this is the variant that I wanted. She has the stamped screening. She's been rerouted. I found her with a hat job at the Goodwill in 2020. But everything else about her was perfect, just her hair was cut, so, but I knew I could fix that, and I rooted a like lilac streak into her hair. So that is her. Let me see if I can set this up any better. Oh, we're getting there. It's gonna be a long video. Oh yes, and I had to bring this doll. So there was 2 lines that I know of that had, it's basically the same doll. There was Date at 8, and then there was Summer Garden, and I think they also called the Summer Garden one Springtime Party, but all the dolls are from 2002. They basically just reused the same dolls and packaged them differently and put different outfits on them. But essentially, the same doll with the wavy-ish hair. And you'll know these by the screening. It's basically like the classic screening that they would use for Generation Girl Barbies. But one of the differences is there's no bottom lashes. And I don't know, the eyebrows look different, like they look sweeter, like more innocent. I don't know. And they have these arms. So yeah, and the panties are just skin tone, but you can see that there's the molded bees and stuff, so. But yeah, and I decided to put her in this dress. This is a birthday wishes dress, I forget what year. Probably like 2012 or something like that, I don't remember. But I think she looks so gorgeous in it. I'm totally getting these mixed up. I'm supposed to be doing different categories. So Generation Girl, Generation Girl, Generation Girl, Generation Girl. There we go. And I know these Skipper dolls are not Generation Girl dolls, but they're from that era. So, oh, another doll I played with back then was Fun Treats Barbie, which I have 2, but this is the only one that I hadn't brung out to my hometown with me, so yeah, this is my second one, which looks the most like the one I played with. That was my friend Lauren's. But yeah, I love this doll, and I put her in this city-style Barbie outfit from 2006. I want to paint her nails. I did it to my my first one, so absolutely gorgeous doll. She will go in not Superstar, Generation Girl. Then of course we have One of my recent ones that I've had, that I've done a review over, is my Palm Beach Barbie from Indonesia. She's the Indonesia variant. So yeah, since she was one that I got recently, she was not one that I had originally had in my hometown. And that is where I got my original one when I was 12. So yeah, a lot of these are going to have messy hair because they've been in this purse for a while. Another one I had not brought out there with me was this Sunshine Day Barbie. Now I did get the dress in like Weatherford and stuff like that back in like 2010. But this was a doll that I found in 2015, I believe. And she's the Indonesia variant, which is the one that I had. So yeah, I wanted her to go with me as well. I brought both my China Rio de Janeiro Barbies, since I hadn't had these ones out there with me, which I got them on the same day at the same thrift store, so I suspect they were owned by siblings. And I had a bathing suit for one of them, and I put her in the sparkly dress. But the China variant, which has more intense makeup, is the one that I had originally. So those ones will go into Generation Girl, the Generation Girl pile. Of course, my newest, I got this doll in like 2017, maybe 2016. She was the last, because I have like 5 of her. So, but she was the last one that I found. So she's the last one that I got. But this is Cali Girl. I put her in this dress for some reason, but you know. But she was my most recent one. And I wanted her to go with me as well. So that is her. Oh, and then we have this Ariel doll. She's just a basic Ariel, the basic one from the 90s. And I played with her back in the day. She was Lauren's, well, I'm suspecting she was Lauren's, and then she belonged to Danielle, her little sister. But yeah, it's basically this one. The one I remember them having had the much brighter red hair, but it was the same face, like the same like neutral face. But yep, I had to bring her with me. She will go into Superstar because she's from the 90s. Here we go. So this is what color hair. So yeah, if you can like see the difference. So this is, I think, Mermaid Princess. And she's one that I re-rooted the front part of her hair. I harvested hair from the back and rooted it in up front because whoever owned her cut her bangs off, so yeah, but I absolutely love this. This is my favorite Ariel doll ever. Like my favorite type of Ariel doll was the early Mattel ones with this screening. But yeah, you can see. And I didn't even know this, but yeah, they used 2 different hair colors for Ariel back then. But there are variants of this one with much brighter hair. But this one, just her hair's so long. So she's either, I'm pretty sure she's Mermaid Princess Ariel, but there is also like Princess Pearl Mermaid or whatever. Okay, so I will bring this over here. So yes, another one that I had played with. I didn't have her, but I played with her back then. Was Pretty Flowers Barbie. The blonde. I also played with the brunette, but the blonde was my fave back then. Now the redhead was my favorite one. She was actually the first Pretty Flowers Barbie I owned. but this was my first favorite because she was the first one I'd ever seen. And I didn't see the redhead one until way later on, so. Which I thought these dolls were like newer, because two of my friends, their little sisters, got two of these and for Easter in like 2004, maybe 2003. And I thought these were like brand new, but I guess they had been dolls that were on the shelves for a while. So maybe their mom had gotten them at CVS or something, because they had a lot of times places like that would have old stock dolls. But I thought these were like newer, but apparently they're from '99, so I don't know why I put these ones there. And I brought this one just for the heck of it as well, because she reminded me so much of Palm Beach Barbie, the Indonesia one, but this is Baking Fun Barbie from 2001, the same year. And she's made in Indonesia, just like Palm Beach Barbie. She has the same hair color, and she also has the same thing that Palm Beach Barbie has, the Indonesia one, which they painted the scalp a sort of pinkish. It's not showing up on camera really, but her scalp was painted like a pinkish color. So if you look at the Indonesia variant of Palm Beach Barbie, they have done the same thing. They painted her scalp like a pink color for some reason. So yeah, but Baking Fun, and she has the same exact skin tone as well. So yeah. And then I brought another mermaid princess, Ariel, just because she is one of my faves. She was the second one I got when I moved out here, so. And she's actually wearing a Megara dress, just because she has a similar hairstyle to Megara, like with the bangs and the really long hair, like you can put in a ponytail like hers, and the purple goes with her red hair. Then we have Stroll and Play Barbie, which is another Barbie that I played with. She was my most recent one, so I had to bring her. She does have a haircut. I had to even things out. And I also cut her bangs a tad. So I just did the best with what I had to work with. But yeah, that is her. She goes in that Generation Girl. And last two. So yeah, this one's actually on a body that I had when I was a kid, because this one was just a head rolling around at the thrift store. Like I found her as there. You'd be surprised like how many Barbie heads that I found at the thrift store just rolling around, and usually they're in really good condition. So I don't know how they wound up like that, but I found quite a few just older Barbie heads just rolling around at the thrift store. Searched for the bodies, and they were nowhere in sight. It's just the head, so I don't know, but she is one of them, one of the random Barbie heads that I have found. So my first ballet lesson Barbie from 2004. I wound up getting, obviously I got her a body from one of my other ones. She's the Indonesia variant, so I wound up stealing a Indonesia body from one of my other ones that had messed up face paint, and I got her a dress. So she had never been to my hometown, so I had to bring her for nostalgia reasons. And then, oh wait, never mind. I have last two. So yeah, this one I brought just for the heck of it, but this is one of my old Polly dolls. So they used to have like fashion dolls, Family Dollar, that were called Polly, and she's one of the older ones. I do need to do stain removal treatment on her, because I drew Sharpie on her when I was a kid, so, but she has been rerouted, and she's on a different body now. But yeah, essentially, for these, this is like the 2003, 2004 version of Polly. And by that time, they had just stole the Generation Girl face. And the screening they used was for Rain or Sun Barbie. So, yep, if you look at Polly and then, like, from this era, and then you look at Rain or Sun Barbie, you'll see what I mean. But Polly always had, like, a ponytail, and she had bangs. I don't know, I didn't want to put her hair in a ponytail, so I just left it down. But yeah, I did her bangs. But that was basically the, that's a basic Polly, is, you know, a ponytail with the bangs. Usually they are bald in the middle, but if I'm going to reroute a doll, I always fill in the hair. So she will go with clones. And then the last one is one of my more recent ones. I haven't had her in a video yet, I don't think. But I do have a video that I need to post about her. So this is a basic Barbie that I had been looking for years, and she never showed up in any stores around me. And she's the first of her kind, if I'm not mistaken, but this is a Christy. This is the Christy sculpt, but she's extremely pale. And she's like strawberry blonde and stuff like that. She's the one that comes in this dress and those shoes. And she just reminded me so much of my Glenda Barbie. Here we go. So yeah, she made me think so much of my Glenda Barbie from my childhood. Because of the skin tone and the hair. She even has a middle part just like her. So I decided they're going to be sisters. And you know, the Christy sculpt is basically the Superstar face, just modified. Like they made the cheekbones more pronounced, and they widened the nose a little bit more. They just modified it to be more fitting for like the Christy doll. So the Christy character, but I like how it is essentially a different variant, like a alternate variant of the Superstar face. And yeah, she actually has the original Christy head mold. It's not the modified one where they smoothed out all the features. So you'll know like a newer head mold because the the stamp on the back of the head will be more bold and the font will be different versus if you look, I'm not sure how well it's gonna pick it up. I don't think it will pick it up. Here, let me, there. I have to bring in the thing, the stand. Yeah, you can see that that is more like written, like I guess they sculpted the letters. But yeah, this is the original Christy sculpt. The only thing they did is they erased the Mattel ink. They erased the ink at the end, but it's just Mattel 1987. But the newer updated version will have like a more bold looking stamp on the back. But yeah, she made me think so much of my Glenda doll. So she will be the Good Witch of the South, Good Witch of the North. And so they're gonna be sisters. And I decided to call, since she's Glenda, I call her Belinda. So yeah, that is them. And these are all the dolls. So all the clones, 90s / Superstar dolls, and one modern one. And then all the Generation Girl ones, and the one and only Ken that I brought. So so sad, but I had to include my first Ken, obviously. So yeah, and that is that video. Very random video of me documenting which dolls that I brought to a special event, but yeah, there they all are. Oh yeah, and I also, 2 other dolls that I brought. I almost forgot about them. And then another extra. See, I'd already had this doll, my Dolly Surprise. So I found her in Weatherford when I was still a teenager. But I wanted her to go to Mineral Wells with me, because that was where I got my original one, which I've replaced. So I brought my recent one that I have replaced. This was the one I had as a kid. And so I wanted to bring her out there so she could be a part of my history, that part of my childhood. And I figured, what the heck, I'd bring this one as well. And then the last one that I brought was this Country Bears. So I collected these guys when they came out. I have a whole video about them. But when McDonald's had these, I was obsessed with them. Because they're like the face sculpts, and they were just painted so amazingly. And I think he's my favorite. This is Tennessee O'Neil. And I didn't have him back then. So I got him when I moved out here. And so just for nostalgia, I brought him with me. And he is now a part of that piece of my childhood. So yep. Bam. So there were only 2 dudes. There was the Ken, and then there was him, which I like him better because he's way cuter. Way cuter with his nose and his little hair. And he's got the belly, so boop. So yeah, anyhow, that is that. And so now I have to organize all these dolls again, but there you have it. So anyhow, if you made it to the end, thank you so very much. I guess you could do a little thing at the end if you wanted to. Like maybe you could type the word nostalgia, I don't know, if you made it to the end. So I know I've seen YouTubers do that and be like, if you made it to the end of this video, type something in the comments or whatever. So yeah, if y'all made it to the end, I guess type nostalgia or something like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. More videos to come, and remember to stay true to you.